Hi, Brian. It's Joanne. Can you hear me?
Evening, Joanne. Yes, I can hear you. Coming through. Captain Puckett, this is Brian for Outbrand IT. Would you like to do a sound check?
Hello. It's 4 o'clock. Is everyone here, Joanne? I believe it's just you and Councilmember James. Okay. Wait a little bit. This is Councilmember Moore.
Chris Ham is here. Can you guys hear me? I can hear you.
I can hear you, Chris.
Great.
Okay, City Clerk, do you know if we're waiting for Councilwoman Ward?
Let's see if we're on yet. Councilmember Ward, are you here? Councilmember Ward?
Give her a couple minutes. It's only 4:01, maybe 2 more minutes. Give her a chance to join us.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson, I am present.
Hi, Councilmember Ward. Nice to hear you. Okay, well, City Clerk, for this emergency meeting that we're adjourning at 4:02 p.m., would you like to do the roll call?
Yes. Councilmember Ham?
Present.
Councilmember James?
Present.
Councilmember Ward?
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson?
Present.
Okay. First item on the agenda, if we could have a motion to waive reading in full of all resolutions and ordinances.
So
I'll make
moved.
a motion. Oh, go ahead. I'll second that.
Second.
Okay, who was it that made the motion?
James.
James?
Okay. Councilmember, let's do the roll. Councilmember Ham?
Aye.
Councilmember James?
Aye.
Councilmember Ward?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Next item on the agenda is local emergency declaration, imposition of curfew. I do have one public comment.
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem, is it okay if I just have the council, before you convene an emergency meeting, make one finding, and that's that that there are emergency circumstances which make a 24-hour notice impossible today. There's activity that threatens to impair the public health, safety, or welfare, and that's why we've convened you on such short notice. If you could vote on making that finding, I'd appreciate it before you start deliberations.
Certainly. City Clerk, would you like to go ahead and take a roll call vote on that?
I believe, Mayor Pro Tem, we need to make the finding.
Well, I'll make
So
the-
I will make that motion that in the interest of public safety and health and welfare, that we have convened an emergency meeting.
All right, thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Councilmember Ward?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Councilmember Ward made the motion and Councilmember James seconded that motion. And City Clerk, would you like to do the roll call, please?
Yes, Councilmember Ham?
Aye.
Councilmember James?
Aye.
Councilmember Ward?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson?
Aye.
And thanks for helping with that, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Very good. City Clerk, can we hear the public comment, please?
Yes, this is from Michelle Schumacher, and she writes, "Good afternoon. I was shocked and horrified to see yet another inappropriate post by Councilmember Laura Ferguson last night with such disregard for human life. It was in very poor taste, her Facebook post, and I hope in the future she starts acting like a civilized human. The man killed is someone's son and family. Police are to serve and protect. They could have de-escalated the situation. The video is clear that he was agitated by the continuous efforts to touch him. They could have tased him, so he was detained. But to be jumped on, there is no reason for this approach as fight and flight kicks in, and he reacted as anyone would for self-preservation. Everyone has a responsibility to be respectful and listen to our law enforcement when asked to do something. Sadly, the mental cognition of this man seemed impaired. Death should not be an outcome for jaywalking. If this is the homeless task force, I hope they have training on de-escalation. The man was getting some clear social cues that things were amiss. Laura, our town is made up of decent, hard-working people. We expect the same from our council and a basic sense of decency. Your praise for the reporting the sheriffs is inflammatory and lacks any rational sense. Please stop adding fuel and discontent in the world. We expect better than this." That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, City Clerk Joanne Babe. Excuse me a moment. I had to let my son in from his basketball practice, and he didn't have a key, so I apologize for leaving at the moment. Okay, well, thank you very much. And City Attorney, did you want to say anything further before we discuss this resolution before us tonight?
No, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, that's it. It's yours to discuss. We've taken just a shot at this based on input that management has received over the course of the day, and it's up to the council to deliberate and consider adopting, modifying, or not.
Okay, thank you very much, City Attorney. I appreciate your help in putting this meeting together very quickly today. I guess I'll go ahead and start out. The City Council members, yes, City Clerk?
We just got another comment if you want to hear it.
Oh, please, I'd love to hear the comment. Please read the comment. Thank you.
This is from Paul Murphy. City Council members, my name is Dwayne Paul Murphy and I reside inland within this community. As a 5-year resident of San Clemente, I have not been impressed with my City Council members on a wide variety of issues ranging from handling the homeless crisis to handling the COVID-19 pandemic crisis. But the vote on enactment and declaration of a local emergency and curfew because of peaceful, nonviolent protests and demonstrations over the death of an unarmed black man by the police is the worst decision the city could make. If you vote for this local emergency and curfew, nonviolent, civil disobedient protests and demonstrations across the city will continue until there is justice and accountability for the victim. Black lives will always matter, and we will vote you all out. And that's all I have. Let me just double check, make sure nothing else came in.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much, City Clerk. Well, all right, so thanks all to my fellow council members for us to all be here together today to discuss this and consider any kind of response in terms of the protests. I did learn late in the day today, and I expressed this to the interim city manager, that the second protest of the day around 5 o'clock at the Old City Hall / Old Police Substation was canceled. So that is not happening tonight. And also, I appreciate City Attorney. City Attorney earlier today quickly looked into the state code and law to see who has the authority to declare any kind of curfew in the event we needed to. I don't believe it's needed at this time. I don't think that the facts and intelligence that the OCSD law enforcement monitors warrants it this time. I know there were a few arrests today at a protest at Pike's Cafe, yes, oh, excuse me, I hear something. But therefore, that said, I really like to see us monitor that, of course, have the OCSD monitor that, keep us informed, and let us know if, in fact, they see that the intelligence is supportive, that it would be of any kind of danger to our community. In that time, I would certainly consider a curfew, but we don't have that now, and I certainly want to continue to support the freedoms and liberties of people in our town, free to roam at any time of the day and night. But again, if there was such a need demonstrated that there was a danger to lives and property, of course, I would. And then further, today I got a call from the Orange County Register asking for a statement regarding the incident yesterday. And I did inform the Orange County Register that the investigation has been turned over to the District Attorney's Office to investigate the deputy-involved shooting, and the OCSD will be conducting an administrative investigation due to the 2 deputies that were involved in the incident, and their PIO is handling, their Public Information Officer is handling the inquiries. And I do appreciate yesterday their immediate response, the team setting up at the incident, having a command post and responding to members of the public and the media, and having a press release too done by the end of the day, because there was a lot of misinformation on social media that was swirling around, and I shared the press release late in the evening, probably around 9, after many phone calls I got pertaining to various things of the day, and shared that press release with very minimal information, just stating my appreciation to OCSD for being forthright with whatever information that they had in that short time period to let people know the facts as they knew it at the time, and complimenting their public information officer too for coming here immediately and having a presence which is very transparent. And again, that's all I was able to share, and it was not my intention to be insensitive to anyone, but I really wanted to share that press release and what I was able to at the time. And this morning I've since had a briefing with OCSD, so I know a lot more information now, and a lot of information that I was reading on social media was quite contrary to what I learned this morning. So again, a good reason to not share too much or say too much. But that said, my comments, I'm not eager to enforce a curfew on our community, again, due to not having, that level of intelligence. And I have been in touch with Captain Puckett as well, and Sergeant Ketchum, and staying on top of this. In fact, I informed the city manager of the city of this incident yesterday while I was at my job. I learned of it, and I've been staying on top of it ever since, and responding how I can within our realm or our jurisdiction of this incident that happened in our city. So I'll turn this over to my fellow council members. Does anyone like to make any comments on this resolution?
Yeah, I'd like to hear from staff first about the curfew. I've gotten some questions from the community in regards to, is the curfew the entire community? What are the times that we're proposing? And some further details. So Scott, if you could jump in and tell us the areas that the curfew is being proposed and the time frames, that'd be great.
Mayor Pro Tem and Council, Interim City Manager Sund is prepared to talk about, I can talk about the reso in general. Eric, if you'd like to talk about the areas, or you can do both.
So maybe Scott will do it collectively. We have a map that we'll bring up for the council and the public to see with regards to the areas. It's not a citywide curfew. And I'll ask Jennifer if she can go ahead or Brian to bring up that slide so that the public can see the areas in question. The curfew would be from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. and it would be just for those areas outlined on the map. Thank you. And so focusing on the areas in green, it is the Pier Bowl, it is the Del Mar T-Zone downtown core. It's partially going to North Beach and the North El Camino location, as well as going, if I can get that other green part down below, please. One second while they're reframing it. Well, that's getting worked out. And so, again, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., and it would just be in the green zones as it relates to the map. Again, primarily Pier Bowl, Avenida Del Mar downtown, and El Camino Real, both north and south. The purpose of this is just, and I want to reiterate, the primary focus is to protect and provide safety to the businesses in the community in the event of any type of issues that could come up that could make it more difficult to protect the community. I'll let Scott speak to the legalities of the resolution, if you would, Scott.
Sure. Mayor and Council, the resolution before you is based, as the Mayor Pro Tem said, on provisions of the government code that allow the City Council to adopt a declaration of emergency and a curfew to implement it. And the resolution that's before the Council that members of the public could obtain if they emailed the city clerk at this point makes findings that in response to the unfortunate shooting that occurred yesterday, protests have been scheduled for today in the city. And whereas similar protests in recent months have unfortunately been accompanied by physical harm to persons and property. And so to safeguard those rights, this draft has a declaration of curfew in the areas that Mr. Sun just indicated. And the curfew that in Section 6 would remain in effect just 24 hours until the City Council could reconvene tomorrow and determine whether its existence is still necessary or not.
If I may, I know we were having some technical difficulties with the image. Jonathan Lightfoot, our Economic Development Officer who actually worked with our GIS and planning, do you want to give a better description of the locations?
Sure. So there's one primary map that was shown already, but attached to the resolution as well, there are 3 zoom-ins to show those areas more clearly. On the north side of town, encompassing the North Beach area, moving along El Camino Real to downtown Imperial Bowl, and then this final exhibit now that is shown on the screen completes the rest of that southern portion of South El Camino Real that's cut off, not completely visible in the zoomed out version. So we would be looking at that extending the full extent of South El Camino Real. So that it includes the main business corridor as well as the Pier Bowl area, and so those are the areas that we're looking at incorporating into this.
Okay. Do I have anything else from staff?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'll make my comments now. Yesterday, 3 lives were forever changed. Today is a day for reflection and mourning. That being said, tonight will not be a night of lawlessness disguised as justice in our community. I'll be supporting the curfew to ensure the residents and business owners of this community do not have their lives shattered as well. I support our First Amendment right to peacefully protest. Anyone who chooses to invoke that right, I implore you to do so peacefully and respectfully. With that, I want to give every tool possible to the sheriffs in the city to ensure we maintain peace in our community.
Thank you, Councilmember Ham. I appreciate it. I want to make a note, too, that the exhibit, Mr. Sund, is not attached to the resolution for the public. If we're going to, can we upload that? Or if this, I know we could put this together so quick tonight, but the resolution that I printed out, it doesn't have the exhibit that you're showing right now attached for the location.
We can absolutely, Mayor Pro Tem, we could definitely upload it in the event.
Thank you.
Council approves this. These maps would also be distributed via press release today as well.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I just want to make sure that the correct Section 6 is before council. Would it be all right if I just read that?
Yes.
Because again, there's been some technical difficulties. Section 6 on the duration, the draft before you should say this. This curfew shall remain in effect until such time as the City Council, at a notice special meeting on Friday, September 25th, 2020, can determine whether the conditions giving rise to this declaration still exist and whether its continuation is still warranted. So this presumes that the Council would notice a special meeting for tomorrow and would need to make findings to justify the continuance of the state of emergency.
Okay, thank you, City Attorney. I did want to note that the copy that was emailed to council, which I have right here, does not say that.
Yeah, I just realized that it didn't save when we typed it a minute ago. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thanks. Maybe we can get the latest, most current copy. Thank you.
So, Mayor Pro Tem,
yeah,
if I may,
James, please.
I will make a motion at this time to call for a special meeting at 5 p.m. on September 25th via Zoom. The purpose of the meeting is to assess our needs going into the weekend.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Okay, City Clerk, would you like to? Well, Council, would you like to discuss first? Because we haven't voted on this resolution yet, actually. Perhaps we should do that first and deliberate on that. Would you like to, or do we have no more comments on that?
Well, Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson,
Yes,
I would support every comment that Councilmember Ham very eloquently said about the concerns of the city council. We all share those. And with that, I would make a motion adopting resolution number 20-55, entitled a resolution of the City Council of the City of San Clemente, California, declaring a local emergency and imposing a curfew. That curfew would be from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. tonight, and it will be in effect until such time that the City Council meets again, as Councilmember James motioned for a meeting, special meeting tomorrow, where we will assess the need to extend that curfew.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kathy. Do we have a second?
So, Mayor Pro Tem, I would have a comment prior to voting. You know, based on the briefing I received along with Councilmember Ward, I believe there is the intelligence out there to be concerned about what may occur. We look at what has happened across the country, La Mesa, California, Kenosha, Wisconsin. There is plenty of reason for us to act in an abundance of caution. It is absolutely prudent for us to act in the interest of our business owners, our shopkeepers, and our citizens. So with that, I will be affirmative vote for this resolution this evening.
Thank you, Councilmember James. So we have a motion to adopt this resolution, and we have a second. So the motion was by Councilmember Ward, seconded by Councilmember James. And City Clerk, would you like to do roll call?
Yes, I just wanted to say first, number one, we have at least one more comment. And to establish the time of the special meeting, please don't make it any earlier than at least 24 hours, or I need 1 hour to put the paperwork together for the special. So if you adjourn, say at 4:30, if you could set that meeting for 5:30, just give me enough time to do the paperwork.
Okay, thanks, City Clerk. Okay, so we'll do that in the second half, and Councilmember James made the motion for that meeting.
Can we do both resolutions at the same time? And I would agree to City Clerk's amendment of 5:30.
Okay, I believe we should do those separate at this time. And let's see, unless you're referencing a specific portion of this resolution.
We'll do them separately. Thank you.
We'll have to. Thank you. All right, City Clerk, would you like to take the roll call for the adoption of this resolution in front of us tonight?
Yes. Councilmember Ham?
Aye.
Councilmember James?
Aye.
Councilmember Ward?
Aye.
Did I hear an aye?
Yes, that's an aye.
Okay. And Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson?
No.
Okay. That motion carries 3-1 with Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson dissenting.
Now I'll make a motion. I will make a motion to call for a special meeting at 5:30 p.m. on September the 25th. The purpose of the meeting is to assess our need for safety and security going into the weekend.
Thank you, Councilmember James. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Ward. And City Clerk?
Councilmember James, or Ham?
Aye.
Councilmember James?
Aye.
Councilmember Ward?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson?
Aye.
And we do have at least one comment. I think there's something in.
Okay, that would be great to hear those. Thank you.
Okay, just a second. Okay. The first email is from Jim Dahl, and he writes, after what happened yesterday, I would hope that the City Council appoint a representative to speak for the city. I would hope that Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson to be the city's spokesperson. The next email is from Bloom's Irish Pub. I don't know who or where to send this to. Hopefully this is correct. Hello, my name is Jeffrey Provence Jr. First and foremost, my condolences to the deceased, his family, friends, and to the officer involved. No life should ever be lost. I think a curfew isn't necessary as of now. The protest this afternoon doesn't warrant this action. This is an overreach and just brings more attention to our city. The next one is from Henry Lutz. He writes, hello, I am a resident of South Orange County and I am demanding that the city of San Clemente not impose a citywide curfew this evening. People working late hours and houseless people will be most impacted by the curfew and will likely be put at risk by law enforcement. Instead of having a curfew, San Clemente should spend more time holding their police officers accountable and making sure that they do not arrest or physically harm peaceful protesters. The city should also investigate the murder of Kurt Andres Reinhold by police and demand justice for Kurt and his family instead of enforce a meaningless curfew. Please do not set a curfew tonight. There's my double check, no others.
Okay. Thank you very much, City Clerk. I appreciate that. So let me go ahead and see. I have one more comment to make about this incident and this resolution we're discussing tonight. I did make the statement today. I'd like to just read it with my fellow council members and the public when I was asked about a statement from the Mayor Pro Tem. I stated, as I did earlier, about the investigation, the jurisdiction of the discussion on the various responses to media, DA's office and OCSD. So I did indicate that and said, of course, it's a tragedy what happened for all concerned, and I respectfully ask that we show patience and trust in the investigative process before forming a conclusion. Personally, I have a high level of respect, trust, and honor for our law enforcement officers. They are sworn to serve and protect and have responded to the highest calling of mankind. We must wait for the evidence to speak for this incident. People are free to exercise their constitutional rights to free speech and peaceful assembly, and I pray for peaceful assembly and calm in San Clemente. Thank you so much. Council members, do you have any comments you'd like to make before we ask for an adjournment tonight?
My only comment is based on some of the Facebook posts we've seen. This is not a time for speculation, rumors, innuendos, or photo ops. I would ask all parties to act in the interest of the city. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember James. Well said. Councilmembers Ward, Councilmembers Ham.
I just received an email from Brad Malamed saying that he sent a comment that it did not come through.
Okay, would you like to read the comment before we adjourn tonight, City Clerk?
Yes, it did not come through. I suspect he probably sent it to Laura Campanolo, so he will need to resend it to me.
Okay, that'd be fine. Thank you.
Instructions.
With that, I have a motion to adjourn.
Chair James.
Well, we actually had the comment before the motion to adjourn, so City Clerk, please read the comment.
I don't have it.
Oh, you don't have it. Gotcha.
Go ahead, James.
Just
Okay.
as I sent
No
it.
worries. I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I have a motion to adjourn to a special until tomorrow to a special meeting at 5:30 on September 25th. That will be conducted via Zoom.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember James. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Ham. All right, City Clerk, could you roll call?
Ask to have the latitude that if anything happens that we cannot get the paperwork done by 5:30, that I'd be able to set it just a little bit later. Is that okay? 24 hours.
Fine with me.
Done.
Fine.
My best. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Ham?
Aye.
Councilmember James?
Aye.
Councilmember Warren?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson?
Aye.
It carries 4.
All right. Thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.
Thank you.